going on, Falcon fan? This your boy Ricondo. Come back at you with another video. So today, training camp day 10. Talk about a little bit about the training camp. We'll talk about some couple roster moves, some guys coming back from injury, and then we'll get into what I want to talk about today is the secondary for the Atlanta Falcons. So, guys, if you have not already, go ahead and please subscribe to the channel. Please hit that notification bell so you know when I drop another video. Please hit the like button so I know you guys that hear that talk about. Then please share my video throughout the YouTube universe so more people can come in and hear me talk about these Atlanta Falcons. So like I said, guys, day 10. It's game week for these guys. They had a day off yesterday. Come back in, start off slow once again. That's what you want to do. Make sure these guys don't ramp back up too quick. Get back into football activities. So they come in the shorts today, getting ready for the game. Arthur Smith did mention that these guys are gonna put pass back on Tuesday and Thursday. Still evaluating guys. I know this is the preseason, but at the same time, you're still working on themselves. They're not really thinking about the Detroit Lions. Um, of course, we're gonna be able to hit somebody else and see how these guys compete against another team, but at the same time, the Falcons is focused on what they need to work on as a team, as individual positions. Those battles still going on, so definitely they're going to get back and pass on Tuesday and Wednesday. Try to have a good walkthrough probably on Thursday, and of course they got to travel and then get ready for that game on Friday. So pretty much a light day for these guys today. If you're looking at some of the highlights out there, like I said, it wasn't a whole lot to actually get into today. But competition is still good. That's one good thing. We do have a couple of roster moves today. Um, the Atlanta Falcons waived Bryce Rogers. We know he was the defensive tackle that actually got carted off the field. They waived him. If he does not pick up on um, waivers by another team, he'll be put back on the Falcons injury reserve. So that'll be a good thing for him. In a corresponding move, they actually signed McCoy Pruitt, a tight end. Has some familiarity with Arthur Smith. When Arthur Smith was a tight end coach and the offensive coordinator when he was with the Tennessee Titans, also has some experience with the Chicago Bears. So there we go again, right? Bringing in another guy from Chicago. This guy here is definitely going to be another depth piece. And when you think that you're comfortable and you think you're good in your positions, the Falcons bring in another guy for competition, right? That's what they do. They don't want you to get comfortable. They don't want you to think you're good. They bring in some more competition at that position. So, and that's where we're at with this tight end position. I think this could be more depth to have somebody come in for these preseason games. Of course, Felipe Franks is going to be moving and doing some quarterbacking as well because he is that third string quarterback along as the tight end. So this could be just bringing in another tight end to fill that role. However, like I said, Pruitt does have experience with Arthur Smith. He has experience in offense. Over his 7-year career, he's 46 receptions, 488 yards, and 7 touchdowns. So he has some experience in this league. But I think it's more of a depth signing and then actually trying to compete with somebody on the roster because I think Arthur Smith is kind of happy with his tight ends that he already have on the roster right now. Couple more guys. Jalen Mayfield is back out there. We know Jalen Mayfield had a lower back injury, missed the last 2 practices, came back out today, which is a good thing. Hopefully, he'll be able to practice the rest of the week so he actually can be able to um, participate in the game on Friday. Of course, he's still in that left guard battle. It seemed like it's all but done, but we still got a lot of games left. We still got 2 joint practices with different teams. So Jalen Mayfield still can show that he has the capability of being a starter, even though Elijah Wilkinson actually been filling in that starter role for the last 8 practices now. So we'll just have to see how that works out for Jalen Mayfield. Also, Brian Edwards took off his yellow jersey, which means that he's actually able to probably get some contact again. Be interesting to see if they actually play him this Friday, because we all know Brian Edwards is actually going to make the team. So if he got any nicks and knacks, anything like that, they might want to just see him out this Friday and let him hold him off to the next preseason game. I think we kind of got an idea what Brian Edwards would be able to do. Those other guys, those guys on the fringe, um, those are guys that actually definitely need to get out there and show what they're capable of. Guys like Frank Darby, he mentioned today that he's excited to actually to show what he can do as a receiver. He did not get a lot of touches last year as a receiver, only one reception. So he's definitely going to get a chance to show and prove what he's able to do in a game. He's good on teams, but if he's going to make this team, I think he's going to have to show something besides that. And because a guy like Cardell Hodge is good on teams as well. Cordell Hodge has been making plays, and during the training camp, I know we have seen some highlights on him. So if it comes to a guy like Cordell Hodge and Frank Darby, we'll just have to see how that shakes out. So, guys, that's training camp day 10. Like I said, not a whole lot. These guys was in shorts today. Competition still good, but these guys are getting ready for that game on Friday. These guys pumped up, they're excited, and so are we. All right, what I really want to talk about today is that secondary and how good can that secondary be for the Atlanta Falcons. All right, I looked at a list from the Pro Football Focus, and they had the Atlanta Falcons secondary ranked 13th best for this upcoming season, which I say that's pretty good. Just looking at what they were last year compared to the addition of Casey Hayward, ranked 13th. Of course, they had Buffalo ranked number one with White, Elam, Johnson, Hyde, and Poirier. Of course, they had the Ravens ranked second. Guys coming back. Got Peters coming back. They got Fuller, Humphrey, Williams, and then of course, they drafted Kyle Hamilton. And then they had Tampa Bay ranked third. Carton Davis, Jamel Dean, Sean Murphy Bunton, Antoine Winfield, Logan Ryan, and of course, they signed Keanu O'Neal as well, which is actually a pretty good secondary. By name, we don't know these guys. Some of these guys still got it, especially somebody like a Keanu O'Neal. We know he still hit hard and things like that to fill that strong safety role, but some of these guys are just by name. Of course, rounding out the top five, they have the Los Angeles Chargers in there. At number 7, there's the Los Angeles Rams. So guys like those are teams that's ahead of the Atlanta Falcons. The Browns was another team that they had up there that was ahead of the Atlanta Falcons. But just looking at our secondary, and my opinion is secondary, we got one of the best corners in the league in AJ Terrell. He was ranked 4th last season as a cornerback in the NFL, which I mean he could definitely get better than that. He only gave up 200 yards passing. That's saying a lot. A guy that really was one of the strong points on our secondary last year. Then we bring in Casey Hayward, who was ranked 12th in the NFL last year at cornerback. So those two guys, that tandem, is definitely going to be able to um, boost up our defense to the point where I think that secondary is probably the strongest suit of our defense right now. A guy like Isaiah Oliver, if he's able to come back and get back into form, I seen him out there after practice, still getting it in, going through his drops and things like that. He actually had the leg brace off too, which is a good thing. So looking at Isaiah Oliver, of course, Mike Ford been filling in for that position, but look like Isaiah Oliver is slowly making his way back to that being with the number ones and the during training camp. So that's a good thing. But that's those three tandem of cornerbacks, Isaiah Oliver, Casey Hayward, and AJ Terrell is definitely going to be something that we definitely can get excited about. The only question mark, which is really not a question mark, is our two young safeties who does not have a lot of experience. I think Jalen Hawkins played a lot last year, so that year, that jump that he's going to get from year 2 to year 3 is definitely going to work out for him. And then the young guy Richie Grant, who was our second round draft pick last year. And if you were just like me, a lot of us we were excited when the Falcons had selected him last year. Of course, we know how the season went. It took him a while to actually get in the game. They actually had him playing out of position, trying to play that nickel. Isaiah Oliver went down trying to fill in that spot, but I think he's going back to his natural role, playing safety, which is definitely going to benefit him. These guys been flashing all training camp, all season. So if you're looking at some of the matchups with Kyle Pitts, the word on the streets that Richard Grant probably had the best coverage out of all the secondary members out there on the team against Kyle Pitts. So that's saying a lot because we know how we already talked about how great Kyle Pitts been looking in camp, and then the fact that Richard Grant's able to hold his own. Of course, ain't nobody stopping Kyle Pitts, but I just like the fact that um, Jalen Hawkins and Richard Grant is actually going out there showing what they're able to do. And then not to talk about some of our depth pieces that behind those guys in case injuries, because we know injuries is part of the game. So guys like a Darren Hall, who's definitely showed him improvement this offseason. He's been out there making plays. We got guys like D. Alford, who's get beat on plays, but it seems like he always there. He's always in the right spot to make plays. And then once again, we talk about a guy like Mike Ford, who's been filling in the number ones at that nickel position, getting all those reps. So I like our depth more than we had last year. Then I will not forget Eric Harris, who's actually our starter last year, that could definitely come in and fill either one of those safety roles if one of our safeties go down. So um, our depth and our secondary is good this year. And right now, I kind of agree with the PFF rankings, 13th, but I can definitely see us rising and getting higher than that as the season go. That secondary is going to be able to help our pass rush as well. So of course, we know pass rush and secondary play go hand in hand. But if we got guys sticky on the back end, it's definitely going to help some of those pass rushers. Going to help guys like Carter, help guys like Okendeji, help guys like AK-47, help guys like D'Angelo Malone get back there and be able to penetrate those quarterbacks, right? Help Grady Jarrett to get penetration up the middle, things like that. Taquan Graham, Marlon Davidson. That's what we want to see. We want to be able to let the secondary and the defensive line work hand in hand. So, guys, what is your thought on our secondary? Do you think PFF got it right, being ranked number 13th? Should they be higher? Should they be lower? We're looking at some of these rankings up there. Some of these guys and some of these teams that they're ranking, in my opinion, it's by the name, right? It's by the name of the guys there. Some of these guys been doing it for a long time, but the question is, are they still there? Are they still good as they were back in the days? Not like a guy like AJ Terrell who's ascending. Um, he's actually got an upward trajectory. Some of these guys actually starting to decline just a little bit. So it's interesting to see if the Falcons can actually move up their ranking from PFF. PFF is not the end all be all with rankings, but at the same time, it gives you some kind of idea what people looking at. It's all about analytics, but sometimes you got to look with your eyes and see what your eyes see. Just like they did not put AJ Terrell in the Pro Bowl last year, which we all know that was a mistake, right? So, because he definitely should have been in the Pro Bowl. And sometimes you get enamored by the interceptions, but in my opinion, when you get interceptions, that means you got thrown at a lot, which means they don't fear you. So, and you could just go ask Deion Sanders. Sometimes quarterback didn't even look to his side of the field because they were scared to throw over there. And that's the kind of reputation you want. You want to be able to roll your coverage over to maybe a weaker spot, and they be scared to go over there to one guy. like a Darrell Revis, like a Deion Sanders. And hopefully we can say like a AJ Terrell, right? So that's what we're looking at. Things like that. I think this secondary is going to be one of our strong points of our defense this year. So, guys, let me know what you think about our secondary. Let me know what you think about this game coming up on Friday. And this is your boy Ricondo. Come back at you with another video. Peace.